will have them ready to play.
You did say that.
He took a team to Portland, no LeBron James, and then, oh, we got this. And Kyrie dropped 55, and the other guys played really well. Well, Paul George says, you know what? This is my opportunity. He says, even if Kawhi was here and I had a game like this, they're going to say, well, it was because of Kawhi. He took it upon himself. He was sensational. And what we're starting to see, Skip, is that every time Rudy Gobert goes out, they attack Derek Favors.
Yep.
It's like the 10 going to the basket. We're going to the basket. If Rudy Gobert is not in there, and sometimes even with Rudy Gobert, Skip, we saw Terrence Mann jam on him last night. We saw Reggie Jackson really could have been an and-one on him. So it's not like they're afraid all of a sudden, and it seems to me that's what they're doing. It's like, look, let's attack the paint. They were the #1 three-point shooting percentage team. They don't shoot a bunch, but last night they
got their 40%.
Skip, if you shooting 16, you make 16 of them, you can live with that.
Yep.
Skip, you told me that Utah was the #1 rebounding team, but the last 3 games they've gotten out rebounded by...
While the Clippers are going little. How is that possible? Look what Paul George did last night at 6'8".
He's like, I'm doing my best, KD. Hey KD, I ain't had 40, I ain't had 49, but I got 37 and 16.
16 rebounds.
16 rebounds.
How many more rebounds was that than Rudy Gobert had last night?
What Rudy have? 10. Rudy had 10.
He out-rebounded the 7-1 guy by 6 rebounds.
What happened to the Jazz, Skip, is that they came out shooting the 3-ball early, and it got Donovan Mitchell out of his attack mode. So what happens? Okay, you start shooting the 3, it's going in. I'm not attacking, I'm just waiting. Now all of a sudden the 3s are not there, and I'm out of sync.
Yep.
It's kind of like a team, Skip. We used to run into football, but we have a little success throwing the ball, and then all of a sudden we try to get back to running, we done got off kilter. That's what happened with the Jazz. But the Jazz didn't lose this. The Clippers won this. Give them credit. Ty Lue did a hell of a job, and there are a lot of teams that wish they would have had a guy like Ty Lue now. He got overlooked for a number of years because they said, oh, he only won because he had Kyrie. He only won because he had LeBron James. He did win. But Ty Lue can coach his ass off.
He can coach his little behind off.
Kudos, Ty Lue. They won this. This is not about what Utah didn't do. This is what the Clippers did do.
Okay. Before I answer this question, allow me to apologize publicly to my man Kawhi Leonard, because initially I was skeptical about his knee injury. We saw the play on which Joe Ingles bumped him as he was going up court, and he stepped sideways and caught it a little funky and hyperextended just a little bit, and I thought, that can't be that bad. I confirmed last night it is that bad. It's a significant knee injury that I'm virtually sure will require pretty immediate surgery. What I was told last night is he should come back 100% next year. I don't know if he'll be ready for the start of the season, but it's significant, and he is gone for the rest of the playoffs. And I'm pretty sure the Clippers knew that last night. It's not like they're trying to hang on for Kawhi to come back
at some point, right? And that's the thing, Skip. And that's what that's what I tell people about injuries. Where they're like, well, he did this afterwards. Sometimes you have adrenaline and you don't know it. I'm telling you, I had a teammate of mine. He tore his ACL on the opening kickoff and played the rest of the game. He didn't know. I've had guys that had shoulder separation. Didn't know.
Okay. So, obviously, Kawhi's had a long history in this league of load management and not playing even a little bit hurt on occasion for stretches. So that's why I was initially a little dubious. That's why you said, oh, he'll play in Game 5 for sure. Well, he just can't because he's seriously, legitimately hurt. Okay, enough of that. Onward and upward. What did I see last night? I didn't love their chances because Utah had the best home record in basketball. That is an insane asylum of noise and just, it's like crazy in there. It just comes through my TV where it just almost makes me ache for the Clippers because it's so loud in there.
Because they rated them threes on you. And you saw it last night.
First quarter, Utah comes out, to Utah's credit, and hit them with their best shot. They made 10 threes in the first quarter. Well, think about that. That's on a historic record pace. What's the record? Milwaukee made 29 in a game this year. Well, if you keep that up, you're going to make 40. I've never seen it quite like that. And yet, to your point, When the smoke clears, I look at the final score at the end of the quarter, and it's 37-36. So it's a shootout.
That's what Ali told me, George. George was
That's right, I know.
That's all you got?
Is that all you got?
Yeah, that's it.
So it was the Great Salt Lake shootout in the first quarter, but it was still just a one-point game.
One-point game.
And then midway second quarter, I look up, and they've got 15 threes. And I immediately tweet, you can check my timeline, look it up. I guarantee they will cool off because that's just, they're going to have to cool off. You can't keep that up or you're going to shatter the record, right?
Yes.
They did make 2 more. That was at the 7-minute mark of the second quarter when they're up to 15. 2 more before halftime. But to your point, they're still hanging in because Pandemic P had scored 22 in the first half. 22.
Right.
And I immediately tweeted, if he gives you 22 more in the second half, you got a shot here.
Right.
Well, I was hoping that Utah would not just cool off, it would just go flat out cold. It did.
Worse than cold.
They only made 3 threes in the second half.
Because remember, they was 0 for 10 in the third quarter.
0 for 10 in the third quarter, and our man Spider, Donovan Mitchell, in the fourth quarter went 1 of 6. Well, that swings the door wide open.
Yep.
Okay, so to answer this question, I'm going to be brutally honest, and I do love me some Clippers because I love me some Kawhi, but I thought Utah lost this game more than the Clippers won it because it's their game to win. It's their home game. It's their chance to, quote-unquote, step on the throat of the wounded Clippers and put them away, basically, where you could then go close them out in Game 6.
Right.
But in this case, you're so hot-handed that it's up to you to keep making threes until they say no mas.
Right.
You're just too good tonight. And they could not do it because as the clock ticked in the second half, the pressure is all on the home team.
Right.
The visitors are just free shooting it. You know, they're just freestyling because there's no pressure on the Clippers last night.
No.
They don't have Kawhi.
Everybody expected them to lose.
Hey,
so
everybody.
If everybody expected us to lose, what do we have to lose?
That is correct. And the home team had everything to lose because they're even looking ahead, I'm sure, in the back of their mind to Phoenix. And I don't know what's happened with Chris Paul. You know, we hear that he was vaccinated, but he did get COVID.
Right.
So how long will he be gone?
Right.
Well, could he miss the first game or maybe the second game? And I'm sure Utah's thinking, if we could just close this thing out and make them play on Sunday, right? You could make game 1 against Phoenix in the conference finals be this Sunday.
Maybe we can get at least one game without Chris Paul.
You could maybe get a game. You might be able to get a game just to get a leg up on them without Chris Paul. You might get 2 games. Well, the first thing you got to do is get one against Pandemic P's Clippers.
Right.
And here they came and here they stayed. And now we get to the fourth quarter. And now we get to Mr. June, Reggie Jackson. I don't know if our younger viewers remember Mr. October, but the real Reggie Jackson. Yes. But this Reggie has had his playoff moments. I've brought up before that game in 2012 for Oklahoma City when they were on the ropes at Memphis with, obviously, with Durant and Westbrook. And he comes in and it goes for 42. And Durant and Westbrook were horrendous from the field, and they were about to go down 3-1, and he saved the day. He is capable of
he's an offensive
explosion.
Yes.
I mean, he's actually capable of Donovan Mitchell kind of stuff in stretches.
Yeah, when he hit that shot at the top of the key, I think they were down 2, and he hit that step back in front of Jordan Clarkson as the clock was running down. I just threw my ass, it's over.
Okay. All right. So speaking of those shots, he made 4 shots in the fourth quarter. And if we could see them, all of them are crucial momentum breakers because the first one, Utah...
This is right here. This is the shot I'm talking about right here.
Utah cut it to 3. He said, wait a second. I got this at the end of the clock. And really, all of a sudden, you're back up. And then here we go again. They'd cut it to 4, and he bombs away again. And this is the big one because they were on a little roll right here, and they'd cut it down to 3. And he buries another one. And this is the one you're talking about on Gobert. I got him on skates, and I go up and under on 7'1", and I'm 6'3", and I made that, and it could have been an and one, like you said. Okay, so that's the damage he did at crucial moments where they had cut it, to where it looked like Utah was about to pounce, and he said no.
But you can't play any more better defense than what they played.
No, I mean, this is crazy shots. No, I totally agree. That's what he does. And what have I told you all year long? He puts me in my head in an early grave because half the time I'm saying, no, don't do that. Don't, like that one you're talking about. Ernestine's watching. I said, don't shoot, don't. Yes, thank you. Right? How did that go in?
That's it.
I don't know how it went in.
Your guy, you've been saying he was the best three-point shooter. Marcus Morris is not just selling for threes. He putting the ball on the floor and getting it and shooting turnaround jumpers. I'm like, well, who is this guy? Where you been?
In the regular season, he led them in three-point shooting, and they led the league in three-point percentage.
Yes.
He shot 42% for the year. 44%, and they shot 42.
Right.
Okay, well, he was in a 1-for-12 slump to start this series off, and guess who has emerged from that slump? That'll work.
Oh, he's what was he, 7 of 8, 7 of 9?